That down. Let's move on to this. You know, I was in the midst of getting the show ready today when I get a text from Robert Meyer Burnett, and I almost didn't click on it at first.
How dare you?
Because the way it displayed, because you sent a link, and you know, then in the text message it'll display kind of a little short thing, a link. It's just tickets on sale. Right. Superman tickets on sale. I'm like, well, I know they're on sale, right? But then, as I was about to go back to my notes, I caught that it was a video. Oh, maybe it's a little announcement video for tickets being on sale. I didn't know it was going to be a new full trailer. And so I clicked on it. And for the next 2 minutes, I was in rapturous heaven. A new Superman trailer is out, guys. And it's fantastic. You know, here's the thing. Look, obviously, I'm a big Marvel guy. I love my Marvel movies. I mean, that doesn't mean they haven't disappointed me. They have. And I'm looking forward to Fantastic Four. I am. I'm excited about Fantastic Four. And the Fantastic Four trailers have been good. I got no complaint. They're good. But they haven't really done much to grab the knob and crank it to 11. You know what I mean? They've been good. I'm excited about them. But they haven't every single time out just put the foot to the floor even harder. Cranked it up. And I feel like with the Superman trailers, I've been more and more impressed every time we've come along. And that's great. But this trailer that they dropped this morning, this trailer is, I think, not the greatest trailer of all time, but this might be my favorite trailer of the year. And I mean, I'm somebody who loved that Thunderbolts A24 trailer.
Yeah.
I'm somebody who loves that 28 Weeks Later trailer. I'm somebody who loves that. It's not called the new horror movie with Josh Brolin. It's the one-word title. Weapons. I almost said Warriors. It's not Warriors. I'm the one who loves that Weapons trailer.
You haven't seen Mortal Kombat 2 though yet.
I know. So. Granted, keep in mind, haven't seen the Mortal Kombat 2 trailer yet.
Endgame level event.
But this might be the most Superman comic book trailer I've ever seen. This thing, you know, Rob, I often go back to this, and I mention this even when I'm doing open mic by myself. I say, when we're talking about the DC EU, which I gave positive reviews to great glowing reviews to every single movie in the DCU except for two, Wonder Woman 1984 and Birds of Prey. Those are the only two I didn't like. I liked all the rest of them. But one of the things, as somebody else who appreciates those movies, that you've often pointed out that was the big deficiency. You know, you don't have enough vitamin C, you get scurvy. That's your deficiency. The deficiency in the old DCU was a lack of joy. And it's like filmmakers.
And it's other thing that's adjacent to it, fun and joy. And some filmmakers make the mistake in thinking you have to either be heavy or have fun and joy. And then there are filmmakers who understand you can do both. If you balance them correctly, you can do both. And I watched this trailer, and in the same trailer where I'm seeing Lex Luthor running down a laundry list of all the people he's going to kill. That reporter? How about that reporter you like so much? Yeah, I'm going to kill her. Who raised you? I think I'm going to find them and I'm going to kill them. It's like
too.
Philip Seymour Hoffman in Mission Impossible 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm going to find her. I'm going to hurt her.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
that's exactly how I wonder if that was like an influence of his in this.
So I'm going to kill you in front of her.
Yeah.
You can have that. And you can have, I'm sorry, I know this is not going to work for everybody, but when Mr. Terrific goes, quit playing around. I'm not playing around. I'm doing important stuff. I laughed my ass off at that scene. I mean, Crypto flying up in front of Superman and biting the guy's head and pulling his helmet off so Superman can left cross him and knock his teeth out. And oh my God, the end when he's hovering in the air, surrounded by enemies, and he does the whole tornado thing with the laser vision.
This looks like an Alex Ross painting.
It does. And he's doing that. I'm like losing my, and then the part that I didn't think the trailer could top, I thought they put it too early in the trailer, and then they did top it.
But Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner goes, "Make a move, Big Blue." I'm like, oh, like I'm losing my mind at all this kind of stuff. And it's just everything that I wanted it to be. It feels, it's like they watch our show and they heard us constantly talking about, you got to have the joy put in there too. And like, it's got stakes and consequences. And correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't notice this in the trailer, but bring up my screen here. This looks, is that a baby he's holding in his hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like, what the hell is happening
and then
here?
Look, is this Metamorpho?
Is it Metamorpho?
Look on the right side of the screen.
Yeah, that is back there.
Like, so like what on earth is going on here where he's holding like a newborn baby?
Zoom and enhance here. That's Metamorpho back there.
I mean, like, woo! I'm just telling you, I watched this trailer about 15 times when I should have been doing other work. And every time my smile got bigger and bigger. And I have been telling everybody that, guys, this movie is going to be, hopefully it's great. It needs to be great, but it's got too many hurdles to overcome to be $1 billion or to even have the potential of being $1 billion film. I might have to change my mind about that now. When you put this trailer in front of the masses, the projections came out. This movie's going to make 150 to 185 million opening weekend. I'm like, come on, guys. That minus 50 to 100, minus 50 or $80 million. Maybe it can be $100 million movie, opening movie. This trailer to me changes the narrative. This changes the narrative. It still has obstacles. It still has all that dead weight of people being turned off by DC stuff on screen and having abandoned the DC universe. And the fact that we're on our third or fourth iteration of Superman in just a short amount of time. All those obstacles are still there. But I don't know. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe that 150 to $185 million opening weekend is not so crazy. Because I tell you what, I have not seen this in a movie theater yet. I'm betting I'm going to see it in a movie theater tomorrow when I go to see The Materialist. I think when audiences see this trailer on a big screen, there's an old saying. I mean, their wallet panties are going to drop. The wallet panties are going to drop, and they're going to be offering up their money to the James Gunn cult and say, take it all, take it all. This looks great. Now, again, it is just a trailer. I've seen trailers I've been very excited about that I ended up not liking the movies very much. That can still happen here. I understand we are still just talking about trailer. I get it. But James Gunn has never let me down. He's never let me down. I don't care if it's Super. I don't care if it's Slither. I don't care if it's Guardians or Peacemaker. I had no belief in him with Peacemaker. I had zero belief in Peacemaker. I ain't making that mistake again. I'm at a loss for words, Rob. I'm so hyped about this. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, Stitch Fix. Guys, you know I love movies, but you also know I have absolutely no fashion sense, and I absolutely hate shopping for my clothes. But thankfully, I have found a better way. Stitch Fix online personal styling makes it easy. With Stitch Fix, I get a stylist who understands my style, size, and budget, and they do all the shopping for me. Because look, shopping and figuring out style can be overwhelming, especially for somebody like me. When it comes to getting dressed, I don't even know where to start, to be honest. That's why I love having a Stitch Fix stylist. They really know what works for me. I get pieces that make me look great, and it's a real confidence boost. You just give your stylist your size, style, and budget preferences. You get to order boxes when you want and how you want, no subscription required. They send you personalized pieces, and the fit is always on point. No stores, no crowds, no stress. Just personalized looks that you will love. So guys, make style easy. Get started today at stitchfix.com/Campea. That's stitchfix.com/Campea. Anyway, you saw this before I did. What is your reaction to this trailer?
Well, okay. To me, the one thing that I'm all about tone, you know, and I always talk about verisimilitude, the quality of being real. But you can have verisimilitude within a fantasy context, within a whimsical context, as long as the tone is consistent. And I've been most interested in the fact that James Gunn is going in the absolute opposite direction that, say, Zack Snyder or Richard Donner went in that it was his universe. The DCEU is a universe that's filled with, as he said, gods and monsters and magic and super science and whimsical stuff. And it's the Superman universe that I grew up reading as a kid. You know, coming out of the Kurt Swan era, reading from 60s to 70s into the 80s, you know, and it has all of those qualities, and it's then combined with what you got in the graphic novel, like a Superman for All Seasons.
Yeah.
It's entirely different, or All-Star Superman. It's entirely different from what Zack Snyder was doing. Now, I liked what Zack Snyder was doing because I liked his Sturm and Drang, that the metal nature of his portrayal of superheroes. The problem with that is it doesn't energize like the kid in you that wants to wrap that red cape around even though they use that image in the trailer.
Yeah.
This is the kind of thing, like you said, dude, if I was 8 years old and I saw this trailer, my mom would have thought I would have just snorted a Tony Montana sized mountain of blow. She'd be like, "Did you do that again?" I'm like, no, it was just a Superman trailer, Mom. It wasn't the blow last time.
Why are you running around saying, say hello to my little friend?
Say hello to my, but that's the thing. This is what you dream of when you're 8 years old. You know, you dream of Krypto pulling someone's helmet off and Superman wailing
and teeth flying
and spinning around like a whirling dervish.
What's the thing Jonathan pointed out to us about that shot in the trailer? Jonathan, I didn't catch this in the trailer, neither did Rob. But if you guys watch the trailer again, okay, and that moment, because Jonathan was the one that caught this, I did not. When Superman punches that guy and his teeth come flying out, I didn't catch it, but he did. He's like, listen to this, and then turn up the speakers. You hear the teeth hitting the lens of the camera. Clink off the lens of the camera. I mean, oh my God.
That alone, that just tells you what you need to know. Now, I'm sure that there's going to be various YouTube channels that talk that we're shilling this movie.
Sure, yeah.
But you know what? Here's the thing. What's not to love? As somebody who's been reading, I've read thousands of Superman comics. I have on my shelves in my observatory all different iterations of Superman, from Superman Red Sun to Superman, the whole clone. I mean, not clone, was the Death of Superman saga. You know, from the time when you had Doomsday and then you had the Reign of the Superman storyline. I've never read it all. I watched the Superman, Wendy, and Marvin hour-long shows before we got the Legion of Doom and Zan and Jaina and the Wonder Twin powers. I mean, coming from that and the Fleischer cartoons from the 40s, man. I mean, this is a combination of all of Superman history writ large on the big screen. And I, for one, John, I'm stoked. And seeing this trailer, to me, it finally coalesced. I got to hearing Luthor talk, just what he's saying. I mean, I'm like, I love this.
They chose him. Let them die.
I mean, I'm like, I was great. I'm like, this is awesome. This is what I wanted. You know, this is, and also it's close to like the Superman animated series, Justice League International, which is kind of an in-between thing. But god damn, man, I'm excited for this movie.
I don't know how, because I've been really enthused by everything we've seen, like right from that first teaser, the him crashing down into the snow, Krypto, take me home, then the stuff we saw at CinemaCon, amped it up more. I was like you in a lot of different movies. I was like, I've seen enough. I don't even need to see anymore. I'm sold. And then they showed us this, and I just can't believe. You know, Henry Cavill is my all-time favorite Superman, and I am a big passion. And Man of Steel is my favorite Superman.
Henry Cavill, the great Superman.
But I don't know that I've ever watched any iteration of Superman on the screen. Again, I understand we're just talking about a trailer that ever felt so comic accurate, like in spirit and in tone. Like this is it. I mean, this is it, and I'm running out of ways to describe my enthusiasm level for this movie, man. Like I am so excited. I can't remember the last time I was this excited.
Look, I just hope it delivers.
Oh.
I've set myself up. For disappointment.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I only because this is the kind of thing done well. So often it was not done well. You know, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, I love Superman the movie. But Richard Lester taking over as Superman 2, it got a little goofy. And by Superman 3 and then Superman 4, the Quest for Peace had no money in it. But when you get to Superman 3 and Robert Vaughn and the computer, I'm like, ugh. So this to me is, I've had my Superman disappointment with Superman 3 in the theater when I was younger.
Right.
This to me is it's the proper distillation of stuff. It looks to look. And James Gunn said, you know what he said? He said, in my universe, I'd like to believe that there is an island of dinosaurs somewhere. Making a reference to, making a reference to Jurassic World or whatever. And I'm like, yes. Because in the proper DC universe, there is an island of dinosaurs somewhere. Just like there is Paradise Island, and just like there is, whatever you want. And that's what I think we're getting here.
Dude, I tell you what though.
Just don't fuck it up.
I am, and that's, listen, I remember going into Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and thinking to myself, okay, they stumbled on The Last Jedi. There were still things in The Last Jedi that I liked, but they stumbled on The Last Jedi. But I remember I was going in, I didn't love the trailers for it, but still, I thought this is going to be great. They're going to learn from the mistakes of the last one, and they're going to bring it home, man. They're going to bring it home. And I went, and I remember having to come out of the premiere. Like, I walked out of the premiere of it, like with the cast and the filmmakers and everything. And I had to stand there as Ann held up her phone and I had to record my out of theater reaction. I had to say, this isn't it, guys. This isn't it. I said, I like what they were trying to do and everything, but they didn't do it. It isn't it. And I just walked out. So I feel like right now I'm set up for that level of disappointment. If Superman doesn't deliver, I'm going to walk out with that level of heartbreak, because I'm just telling you, man, like everything from the color palette to the kinetic motion of the whole thing, the dialogue of it. And again, I was somebody, I admit this fully, when we first found out a year ago that James Gunn was going to use crypto, I admit I shit all over that idea. I said, come on, man, really? Like, I'm a dog guy. Crypto works fine on a comic book page. Crypto can even work fine in an animation. But I think you're pushing a little bit too far with crypto. Guys, I just watched Crypto bite a guy in the head and pull his helmet off so Superman could punch him in the face.
And his teeth hit the lens.
And his teeth hitting the lens.
The lens that isn't there.
This is like Scorpion stabbing a guy with an icicle of his own blood level stuff.
Yes.
I just, and then the spinning thing. I'm clearly very excited about this. I'm clearly hyped. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I could just keep.
As long as the movie doesn't open with a crawl that says, "The dead speak," I'll be okay.
Somehow Lex Luthor has returned.
But the thing is that he has red underwear, so the whole thing's ruined.
I mean, yeah, I'm also been crapping on that. Now all it needs is a CG AI generated Richard Pryor.
Yes.
To come into the movie.
As long as he skis off the top of a building.
That's all this.
Or you know what they can do? There is a character that Jack Kirby created, basically Death, the Black Racer. He's one of call him one of the new gods if you want, who does fly around the universe on skis. And you know what? I would
answer to the Silver Surfer.
I would love to see all the new gods show up in James Gunn's universe. Bring it on.
Yeah,
that would mean Darkseid, yes, as well.
I mean, at some point we're gonna get Darkseid.
I want to see James Gunn do Granny Goodness. I missed seeing Zack Snyder give us the character of Granny Goodness for a whole movie.
One of our viewers in the live chat says, somehow Ezra Miller has returned. Anyway, guys, question is for you.
Ezra Miller speaks.
You seen Ezra Miller speaks. What did you think of the new trailer for Superman? I mean, you don't have to have been as stoked for it as I am, but I don't know, maybe you're more stoked than I am. I can't believe, it's having me question my doubt about how big this movie can be financially, and I'm questioning that now.
There's only one thing that worried me about this trailer.
What's that?
And it's the Guy Gardner scene you pointed out. Remember I talked about the other time that they're teeing up Guy Gardner to have this one thing. I hope they don't play that scene out between Guy Gardner and Superman.
What do you mean that they don't play that?
The scene because when Guy Gardner gets into his face, I was thinking Superman could have a certain response to that, and they could have other people laugh at Guy Gardner, and it would take away the scene that I really want to see.
I think that's down the line.
I hope it's down the line.
It looks intense, though.
It does look intense, but they could diffuse it by using that thing, and I'm like, I hope they don't.
Come on, Big Blue, make a move. It's such a Guy Gardner line. I mean, it's directly right out of it.
And I could hear Lois Lane saying the response to that.
Anyway, guys, the question is for you. What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.